Purchase your tracks today.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Got that music playing. I like that right there. All right, guys. Members only. What is good, everybody? Glow Yard Gang. What is good? I guess I did this all wrong, man. I'm supposed to have y'all guys waiting, but it's okay. It's our first time. Y'all actually are our first guest on the members only show, man. So we definitely appreciate y'all hopping on with us, man. Of course, y'all already know who I am, man. There's no format. We can just forget all the formalities. Y'all know who we are. It's Real and King, but I definitely got to introduce these guys. Most of y'all already know who these people are, man. So, but we're going to tell you guys who they are anyway. We got a returning, and then we got a new. Let's go ahead and get the new out the way, man. Listen, man. We've been trying to get this guy on for the last 815 years. And it's the mind of Reese. It's our boy Reese. What's good, man?
Man, how you feeling? The artist formerly known as Mind of Reese, I guess, since, I had to change my name on Twitter to something new.
Yeah. I knew you was in Twitter jail for a little bit, man.
Jail? I was in Guantanamo Bay.
Jesus. Ooh, man. And of course, y'all already know who this man is, man. We got Bibs returning, man. What's good, Bibs? Oh, you muted.
It's storming out here on the East Coast. Those storms y'all had in Dallas, I guess, was it yesterday or the day before?
Yeah.
They finally got over here, so I'm just making sure my window don't blow out. But other than that, I'm straight.
Yeah, man, I was stuck in it yesterday. It wasn't too far from where I was in one of the hospitals I was at, man. I was like, crap.
Oh, man.
We almost didn't do the show yesterday, man. But yeah, we here though, man. We definitely appreciate y'all. See the chat up, man. We appreciate all the folks hopping on. TGK, what's good, man? I didn't know you was a member, man. We appreciate you, man. Richard, what's good, y'all? What's good? Listen, man, we got a good one for y'all tonight. Of course, y'all already know who we got on with us. We got the Mavs Outsider podcast duo on with us today, guys. Listen, man, we got a special one for y'all. Some of y'all we know have already listened to their latest podcast, man, so we definitely appreciate y'all doing that because what they talked about on there, we're going to talk about today, man. It's one of the topics that y'all know as Mav fans that we've been talking about here all season for the last 63 games, guys. So, or should I say 64? And is it 63 or 64? 60. What's that rated?
I think 64.
Not sure.
Yeah, 64. Okay. So 64 no Nintendo. All right. Here we go, guys. Listen. We have we got the Kid versus Christian Wood talk, man. Y'all heard me and King talk about it so many times, man, but we got some guests on that know a little bit more than what we do. So we're gonna take it away to them, man. Listen, Bibs, I know you said you talked to some people, man, that kind of close to the situation, man. You don't got to go into hour-long detail or anything. I know you already talked about it before on your show. Just kind of give us like a real quick rundown, man, of the situation, and we'll just go from there.
Okay, so long story short, I listen to y'all as well. So we've been saying a lot of the same stuff about how we feel the Christian Wood situation has been handled pretty much since day one.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks ago, we did an episode where we kind of laid out our speculations, our thoughts about what was going on. And was contacted, received some information. They said pretty much everything we said was spot on, and then they gave us the lowdown. So the main thing I wanted to know, and I'm sure everybody cares about this as well, is, what's going on with the contract extension? And I got that answer. The Mavs have been trying to get this extension done since September.
So they have been trying to do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, more specifically, there has not been any actual negotiation. There's been no talk of numbers or years. The Mavs have just said, hey, let's talk about this extension. Christian Wood's camp has said no every time. Christian Wood wanted to focus on trying to be an all-star this year and win a championship. And the Mavs knew that from day one. Those were his goals. They also told him he was going to have the opportunity to compete for the job when he got here.
Yes.
As we all recall, what happened at Media Day.
Yeah.
Christian, how do you feel about coming off the bench?
Blindside him, yeah.
Oh, this is the first I'm hearing of this. And, everybody laughed it off. How he was joking. He knew. No, he legit didn't know. That was his first time hearing it. He hadn't really had the opportunity to compete. And, during the episode, I made the analogy with Reese. I was like, imagine you get hired for a job, assistant manager somewhere. And they say, we're bringing in you and we're bringing in another assistant manager. We don't have a manager role, but for the next month, we're going to evaluate y'all and decide who's going to be the manager at the end of the month. But then you show up for orientation and they tell you the other guy's the manager. Like, How you gonna feel about that job?
Man, let me ask y'all this, man. I think y'all did touch on this on y'all's pod, because me and King kind of thought this might be the case. So there is a disconnect between the front office and the coaching staff, right? So Jason Kidd, right? Because we felt like, so let me. Do y'all know anything about the whole JaVale McGee situation? As
As
far
far
as
as
like, because me and King felt like what it was is JaVale was a Kidd decision, and then Christian Wood was a Nico decision. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, do you know what's up with that situation? Is that true? How that went down?
I wouldn't want to lie.
Yeah,
I agree with you that it does feel like that's the case. It feels like Nico makes signing decisions, and then Jason Kidd decides whether or not he cares. Like even bringing in Chris Silva, he barely got an opportunity to do anything.
yeah.
Gave him 10 days, and he played like 2 minutes.
I feel like he's allergic to bigs, man. Like he don't want to play bigs for some reason. Like he's cool with the fact of having just that one big, and that one big is not dominant enough to help you on defense. But you'd rather throw that one big in there and then just have a rest of the guys be wings or whatever, man. And it's just,
I'm starting to think that comment he made about defense wasn't sarcasm. I'm starting to think like it was fact, like he genuinely means that. Because what other reason would you have? I mean, I understand JaVale McGee has been like pretty awful this year,
right.
but he can give us better rim protection than Dwight Powell can.
Yeah, yeah. And
Christian
that's
Wood can give us
sorry.
better rim protection than Dwight Powell can.
Facts. Facts.
I don't understand. I've stopped trying to understand Jason Kidd's decision as far as rotations and coaching goes, because there's no continuity. I can't remember what Bibs said. We were talking about something. We were talking about the Justin Holiday starting thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Josh Green been fighting all season. The guy comes in and he plays well his first game against arguably the worst team in the NBA, and he
Right.
gets the starting job immediately. And it's like, is there any method to this? Are you just doing things like? And now we see that the starting position is gone. So it's like, why did you even try that? Like, now you're making Justin Holiday look bad because he started, didn't produce the way he did in that Spurs game. When he shouldn't have been put in that position in the first place.
You know what's funny too, man? I know we talked about this on our show. We talked about consistency, like you just talked about, right? We talked about the consistency. We don't know what to expect from Jason Kidd from game to game, right? It's like you said, because he'll do something, we question it, we're toxic. You know what I mean? And then when he does something and somebody does ask him, like in the press conference or something, they ask him, and it's like he gives you this weird Yoda type of answer, bro. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not the savior. I'm just watching, just like y'all. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And I know me and King talked about it before, man. I just feel like, so when we were looking for a head coach when Rick Carlisle left, I was one of the people. I wanted Jamal Mosley. I've said that before, right? And I felt like he should have got a fair shake, at least interview the guy. You know what I'm saying? Or something. They didn't even do that. When you automatically come out and say, as soon as Rick Carlisle out the door, and then the first thing we hear from Rick Carlisle is, oh, we know Jason Kidd's going to be a great hire. Wait, what? Y'all guys didn't even do your due diligence and go look for a guy. You just, Jason Kidd, you know?
And that's the
for,
funny part, because
yeah.
they made the comment that they were going to hire that like big firm that goes out and finds
Yeah.
who should be their
that.
candidates. And then it was like one day we hear that, the next day, nope, Jason Kidd.
I thought the firm was for the general manager though, not the coach.
It was a combined effort type of thing.
I
But
thought it was just a GM. Okay.
once they got the call, they threw that out the window as soon as they realized they could get Nico Harrison.
They probably didn't even interview Jason Kidd. I'm gonna be completely honest.
I don't think so, Reese.
I don't think they interviewed Jason Kidd.
It was a package deal.
I think they looked at the paper and they said, okay, former Mav, check. Won a championship, check. Friends with Dirk, check. All right, Cuban likes him, check. You hired.
Because I'm just, everything that he's doing right now, I've said this, I said, this is what I was scared of. Like, you have these patterns of doing this type of stuff. Your first year, you look great. You look like one of the top 5 coaches in NBA history your first year. And then the second year is just like, what the hell's going on? Like you completely flipped 180. You're contradicting yourself on everything. Like I go back to the whole, like you said, Bibbs, with the, you're playing around with Christian Wood as far as him starting his minutes and stuff like that. This happened day one.
Day one.
Day one. And I remember, man, I told King this. I remember I was mad. Well, King sent me the tweet by McMahon. When McMahon said, I don't know if he's going to start or whatever. I think he might be coming off the bench. And so when he sent me, I'm like, that's not true, bro. Like, come on, man. You gave up a first round pick for this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like you said, Reese, he's way better than the other guys we got, the other bigs we got. Like, this is a dude that can go out there and put you buckets and alleviate pressure off of Luke on the offensive end or whatever, right? Defense will work with that. Because, look, we didn't have just super duper lockdown defenders, and we were top 5 last year in defense. You know what I'm saying? So at that time, I wasn't really worried about the defense. I'm worried about the offense because we just lost Jalen Brunson. So you needed somebody in there to help alleviate that pressure off of Luka. Who better to do that than Christian Wood? Put him in the KP role that y'all thought KP could be. He can do it better because he actually can put the ball on the floor and go get his own bucket, right? And so, like I said, that first game, not only did you not start him, but when he got hot in that Phoenix game and scored 16 in a row, you yank him out of there. You know what I'm saying? That was around the time I was like, yo, something ain't right here, man. Then the fact that when we hearing him in practice, only having the blue jerseys on, I know King bring it up all the time, the blue jersey, not the white jerseys. And I was like, I kept thinking like maybe King is reading a little too much into it. Maybe that's nothing, But then, like I said, first game, it proved it. And I was like, well, maybe Tim McMahon knew what he was talking about, man, as far as him not starting and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I feel like with Kidd, man, he's squandering this year away. They had an opportunity, man. This is probably the most talent I think Luka's ever played with in his career, as far as being on the Dallas Mavericks with having Kyrie and Christian Wood. You having those two guys, you should be able to elevate this team to a lot better than what they were last year. But he seemed to be. I really feel like, man, it's not even. Well, I'm not saying the whole entire team because we do have some issues, but I think this team would have been better, man. Probably with a better coaching. You know what I'm saying? So,
it's
go ahead.
All right, I was gonna say it's kind of like it's a two-fronted thing. So we talked about Holiday being thrust into the starting lineup. So all year we get this. You got to earn your minutes talk.
Yep.
Christian Wood comes into the season after being told he's going to get a chance to compete. Didn't get a chance to compete, but he still put his head down, came off the bench, killed it pretty much every time he came in off the bench. Eventually got the starting job. Everything was going well. It's crazy. Like I'm arguing with people now about why Christian Wood needs to be playing, but before he got injured, everybody loved him.
Yeah.
Nobody.
You know how mad Phantom is, man.
It was, Christian Wood is what KP was supposed to be. Like everybody was on him, and could he potentially get to an All-Star game? He finished 10th amongst the player vote for the front court. It was, this is the type of guy we need next to Luka. Everything was good. He gets hurt. He comes back. All of a sudden, he's playing 14 minutes. Initially, I was like, maybe they're trying to ease him back in. Maybe he got out of shape a little bit. But no, he's back on the bench. And, that was where the speculation began that something was weird about this contract situation. And when you know that his team is not trying to negotiate right now,
right,
and you've given them reason not to want to negotiate because you lied on day one. And now you're holding that against the player. Like, he's still under contract for this year. Should you not get the most out of him this year?
Yeah.
So you take a guy, he does everything right. He earns the job. He suddenly loses the job for no reason. Josh Green grinds, works, gets the starting job. New guy comes in, wasn't getting minutes on a team that's below 500 the last time I checked. They might have slightly creeped up to 500 or a game above, whatever. Wasn't getting minutes with the Hawks. Now he's a starter on the Mavs over Josh after one game, all the work Josh put in for months. All of a sudden, Justin Holiday gets his job. Like, what message do these two type of things send to the rest of the team?
Hold on, babe. So Justin Holiday didn't earn his minutes when he signed on the dotted line?
I mean, he didn't even. We stole his contract.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. My bad. You said
so. Like, it's not even the players themselves. First of all, Josh is coming up on an extension contract.
Yep.
How's he gonna feel knowing that, I can work hard, I can earn a starting job, and then you can just take it from me for no reason and give it to some random dude off the street?
He ain't really got a choice, though.
He ain't got a choice. What?
He restricted.
He can be restricted, and depending on what that number look like, if Cuban pinching pennies, he can wait.
That's true.
Yeah, that is true.
But end of the story, we have 6 guys on the team that are expiring after this year.
Right.
Kyrie's a guy that's big on, how his teammates are treated.
Yeah.
He's watching this stuff too. Other guys on the team are watching this stuff too. People talked about the vibes feeling weird. The vibes gonna be. I've been on it. I've been in this situation. I've been Christian Wood on a basketball team where I knew I was better than the dude in front of me, but I can't get minutes, and I still got voted captain of the team by my teammates. Teammates on the back, man. I don't know why coach ain't playing you more. Somebody else's mom walking to the coach after the game saying, "Why is that dude not playing more?" You mess up the vibes.
And you know what's funny, man? We said this also. You're reverting back to your old ways on your last 2 jobs that you got fired from. Like nothing's clicked with you. Like, you know what? That didn't work the last 2 times I was a head coach. Let me try something different. Instead, you just, like I said, last year you was great. Then this year you just completely flipped. It's like you got comfortable. He got completely comfortable. I don't know if they gave him power or what's going on with Jason Kidd, man, because that dude was just like, oh, so you finally gave me power? I don't have anything to worry about. And I can go back to revert to my old ways, which got you in trouble in your last 2 jobs. I said this too, man. Listen, like you just brought up something I was gonna bring up, Bibs. You got these free agents, like you said. You got a player like Josh Green at a lot of teams. Trust me, me and King talked to other people of other teams before, and they'll tell you they looking at Josh Green, right? So you got Josh Green coming up. That could be gone. Like teams want him. You got, like you said, Kyrie. He's looking at this. He's looking at this situation like, yo, what did I walk into? Christian Wood, you gave up a first round pick for. You just completely squandered and wasted that first round pick, and just threw him to the corner like dirty laundry or whatever. And like what all that I was saying here is like, what's Luka gonna look at with this? Like, how's he gonna feel? It's like you already. Matter of fact, we already had issues with Rick Carlisle and how he was treating like Dennis Smith and all that something a guy was close with. And now I'm back to this where you're gonna have a coach gonna run off the talent that I have, that probably the best chance I've had since being here to maybe getting close to a championship. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I'm telling you, if this blows up in Dallas's face, they gotta fire Jason Kidd, man.
I'm pretty sure we know they won't because, well, before I get into that, it's just like this is not the Jason Kidd that we saw last year. Like I just keep thinking back to that clip of him being mic'd up in the playoffs against the Suns on the sidelines, just directing the defense, and I'm like, where did this guy go?
Yeah,
like where's the guy who proved me and most of the fan base wrong last season, where we're like, this dude sucks as a head coach, this team is not gonna perform well, blah blah blah. Even me, I was saying, hey, let's give him a chance, but my opinion was I'm not cool with this signing because I don't think Jason Kidd is a good coach.
Same here.
And he proved me wrong. And now he's turning around and he's proving everybody right. Like, I don't think they're going to fire Jason Kidd simply because you mentioned something about a disconnect between the front office and Jason Kidd. I think in regards to the Christian Wood situation, I don't think there's a disconnect. I think they're maybe not on the same page, but I think there's issues with both. Because I don't know this for a fact. I don't think this is something that me and Bibs talked about when he got that information. I don't think this was something that was mentioned. But obviously the Mavs have been trying to do a contract extension. But in my opinion, that's not oh man, we need to keep this guy contract extension. That's this dude
we gave it to him contract extension. Like we tried.
This dude's really looking like he's starting to play well. Let's give him this contract extension now so we can get him on a cheaper deal.
No, that's 100% what it was.
Right.
That's 100% what it was. That's
you said Jalen Brunson? That what you said?
Basically. They realized, hey, we made a mistake last year. Let's get this contract extension out of the way early so we don't have to pay him more than what we want to. And when they said no, no number was even discussed. Christian Wood's camp is like, no, we're not going to talk contract extensions right now. We're focused on this because they probably know right now he's not going to get much. And we know the talent he has. We know we looking at the centers on the team. Mm-hmm. White Powell, better than that dude. JaVale McGee, better than that dude. Maxi Kleber, he's better than Maxi Kleber. Maxi Kleber fits better as far as whatever role he plays, but as a player, Christian Wood is a better player than Maxi Kleber.
Right.
So every other big on the team, talent-wise, doesn't really match up to him. So they're like, okay, we know we're going to get the money, but in order for him to get that money and prove that he deserves that money, he has to get the minutes.
Yeah.
So now Jason Kidd isn't giving him the minutes. In the front office, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but
listen,
they're not absolved of this. Like
Reese, I'm telling you, what you're saying, bro, this is something that we kind of been putting out there ourselves, bro, because it doesn't make any sense. Like, what other reason would it be? You know what I mean? It's like King said this. I think King said this like 3 months ago. He was like, "Man, I think they're trying to play with his money." And it's like, that's not smart though. That didn't turn out well for you with Jalen Brunson when you played with his money.
His minutes went. We're not gonna go like too deep, but I'll just say his minutes went down after the trade deadline.
Yeah, this is what his people think is happening. Is that they offer the contract before the season, before anybody gets to see him. And I believe he couldn't get his max, what he can get right now. He couldn't get that at the beginning of the season. It was a smaller number, I think, until like December. If I can't,
yeah, it went like 77 or something like that.
Like, so right now, I think it's like 77. Oh, okay. Before that, it was a smaller number up till December. So the fact that they tried to offer to September means they were trying to get him on that small deal. First of all,
right.
So, and then they're trying to get the deal before anybody sees him play. Then they put him on the bench. Then they start him after we get to that extension point where he can get the more money. Now they're like, all right, you probably have earned this bigger extension, this 4 year 77. We can go ahead and start you in, right now and get the benefits of your actual play in those minutes. But we try and get this deal done by the trade deadline. And to take it a step further, I speculated that they were trying to trade him once they thought they couldn't get the extension done.
Yeah, I think we all did.
It was said that they were not trying to trade him. They actually want to keep him. Okay. They were willing to trade him, but nobody's going to trade for a dude like him who's expiring and can walk on them. Yeah, like, they're not going to trade him. They're not going to trade for him straight up.
Right.
Like, you would have to add some other assets in there. So nobody was doing that.
Okay. Can I see a comment. Okay. I want Backpack. He said, it's defense. Wood is slow on foot and Kidd hates that. Only Luka is allowed to be bad at defense in this team. That's why Wood is on the bench. That is true. Luka is the only one that's allowed to be bad on defense on this team. But I will say this. Then why does Dwight Powell continue to play?
And that's the question we keep asking.
And this is my thing. Everybody always says, Dwight Powell can move his feet on. I don't care. I understand the age we're in basketball. I'm still of the mindset, I don't care if my center can move his feet on the perimeter. What are you doing when guys are attacking the basket? Can I trust you to turn guys away? Can I trust you to have guys thinking, do I really want to go at this guy? Can I trust you to have guys driving and kicking because they're afraid of going up against you?
Yeah.
Let's play
Dwight Powell doesn't give you anything on offense. And nothing on defense.
Christian, wait, hold on. So Reese, you don't like the fact they only get you like 3 or 4 rebounds as a starting center? You don't like that?
You would think I would like. I mean, hey, 3-4 rebounds a game.
That's career high. What are you talking about?
I'm 5'7". Like, I mean, look. I could get you 3-4 rebounds a game.
Right.
So, Christian Wood, slow-footed on the perimeter. Whatever. All right, cool. Like, as a coach, you work around that when you have players that are that good. What Christian Wood gives you on offense is 20 times what Dwight Powell can give you on offense. He's a better rebounder. He's a better rim protector. Now, granted, the bar is low on being a better rim protector than Dwight Powell, with all due respect to Dwight Powell. But Christian Wood is a better rim protector. So when you weigh the pros and cons in comparison, I can't get with the whole Christian Wood is bad at defense.
You know what's funny too, Reese? Because what you just said, King has brought this up before. Supposedly Dwight Powell play defense. Is Dwight Powell's defense better than Christian Wood's offense?
No.
Like, is his defense so great that you can't afford to put his Christian Wood's offense out there? Then what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, Who is Dwight Powell locking up? Matter of fact, if he's so great, then why are we like bottom of the league and like points in the paint against and all that stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like this,
Here,
it's a parade line to the rim on this guy. But
it's
yeah, he plays defense.
football analogy. Dwight Powell is an offensive lineman with great technique that can't block anybody. Like his footwork is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But every single play, the defensive end is going around him, through him, whatever. He's in position. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like it looks prettier when you look at it on the court. It looks prettier than Wood missing a rotation, coming over late, whatever. It looks prettier that Dwight is in the right spot, but every single time they're going through his chest. Like I've never seen a player turn the corner, see Dwight Powell, and hesitate. They see Dwight Powell and think poster is what they do. Kick him, punch him, whatever they got to do. He getting hit, the ball going in the rim most of the time.
Hey, I asked Keen this other day. Let me ask y'all a question. Have you ever seen a player go to the Hall of Fame for just hustle?
Dennis Rodman.
No, it's right to play defense.
That's different.
Oh, okay. Just okay.
I'm not talking about defense, shooting, nothing, passing, just hustling.
Is
you
it
ever seen a player go to the Hall of
Cardinal
Fame just hustling?
Isn't Brian Cardinal getting a statue?
Come on, bro.
No.
You probably get one here. You know how we do it here, man.
Come on, bro.
They're gonna have him next to the janitor's closet. They're gonna have a Brian Cardinal custodian.
Exactly.
Statue.
With a
That
mop
guy
and
did
broom.
make a good point. He made a good point. He said Powell is faster. Plus, his pick and roll with Luka is the best in NBA, which everybody mentions. Powell moves a certain way that makes easier for Luka to operate inside. When Wood is playing, ball stops on him. You know what also helps? First of all, Luka can operate inside regardless of who's on the court. But
You've seen that.
you know what also makes it easier for him to operate inside? If everyone else is on the court is on the three-point line. You got to respect Christian Wood's three-point shot. And I understand the pick and roll with Dwight Powell and Luka is top tier, but it's like, bro, if he's not scoring off of it consistently every game, I don't
What's he
care.
good for?
Like, I don't care. I'm not saying all of this to like crap on Dwight Powell or like talk down on Dwight Powell. I'm just saying Christian Wood is better. Dwight Powell has a place on this team, but it's not as a starting center.
So earlier today, I had a tweet where I put out like ideal rotations and lineups. I think both players have their moments where they are useful. Like I'm not saying Dwight Powell should play 0 minutes. I'm saying Christian Wood should play more minutes than Dwight Powell. Christian Wood should play 25 minutes or so. Start 25 minutes. Dwight Powell should get up to 20 minutes off the bench. I put out the rotation data. Wood and Maxey, great 4-5 combination. They're in some of the best lineups we have. It's gotten tricky with Kyrie coming in and kind of threw off our best rotations. Mm-hmm. Most of them had either Dinwiddie or DFS in them. But of the rotations that we've seen the most of, I'm trying to find a tweet real quick if I can. I pulled up the rotation data, our four best lineups. Now the first one is Luka, Tim, Josh Green, Bullock, and Powell. Second one is Luka, Kyrie, Green, Bullock, and Powell. So that Bullock-Powell combination, 4-5, also there's something there. So that's, again, lineups that we would like to see. Third one is Luka, Tim, Josh Green, Wood, Maxey. And that one's very close to that second one. And they both played at least 56 minutes. Those are the two that have played at least a full game with that lineup. Those are plus 22.1 and plus 22.6 on the net rating. And then the fourth one is Luka, Green, Bullock, Wood, Maxey.
Oh, read that one again.
Luka, Josh Green, Reggie Bullock, Christian Wood, and Maxey. There's only 3 qualifying Kyrie lineups so far. So we got to wait for the data to come in. But I'll go in over the Kyrie lineups that Luka, Kyrie, Reggie Bullock, Josh Green, Dwight Powell, plus 22.6. Swap out Luka for Tim Hardaway is plus 12.2. And then the the starting lineup that we got a few times, Luka, Kyrie, Holiday, Bullock, Powell, negative 12.6. Those are the 3 Kyrie lineups that have played over 24 minutes so far. Christian Wood with Maxey is a smart combination.
So when we gonna see them 2 start?
Josh Green is in all the 4 of the top lineups, by the way. Jason.
Oh, you said the guy that whose minutes been getting cut for some odd reason. Oh, okay. The one thing too that kills me about Dwight Powell, man. I told King this the last show. You know, we sit there and everybody talks about Josh Green developing, right? You want him to develop this, you want him to develop that, dribbling, shooting, pass, whatever, right? You want him to develop. What have we demanded of Dwight Powell to develop? Is he not the exact same player he was when he first got here?
I'm about to tell
you. If anybody can tell me what he's developed, let me know.
I'm about to tell y'all something crazy.
Go ahead.
Because if you ask 2K, they would say he developed a 3-point shot. Can y'all guess?
Hold on. Wait. I'm trying to find that 3-point shot you looking for.
Can y'all guess the Dwight Powell's 3-point shot rating on 2K?
Is there negatives on 2K?
78.
Bingo.
No, we said Dwight Powell.
Dwight Powell. Can you guess his offensive rebounding rating on 2K?
83.
Bingo.
Oh,
Wait.
man. I don't even play. I
Reese.
play 2K.
Reese. We said Dwight Powell. Reese.
Dwight Powell. I checked it yesterday.
Oh, who they watching? Is there another Dwight Powell they know about?
Maybe Dwight Howard in China.
Oh, they got the okay. I see. Got you. It makes a whole lot more sense.
That makes more sense. I don't know. Maybe they got their Dwights mixed up. But
has he even shot a 3 this year at all?
I don't think so.
Maybe one
at the buzzer or whatever. But no, I was wondering that, man. It's like I always hear these people talking about this person needs to develop and they need to do this and do that. I never heard anybody say Dwight Powell needs to develop anything. Yet they want him on the full floor playing 815 minutes a game, bro. And it's like, but if I know you're talking about Dwight Powell coming off the bench, and I'm just like, so Dwight Powell is really only effective when he plays with Luka.
Yeah.
Luka's in the starting lineup. So it's like, if he comes off the bench, then what is he good for? Like you said, he can't rebound. He's not a great defender. You know what I'm saying? He can't shoot, can't spread the floor at all. You're really a power forward, but you're playing center because you can't shoot the ball. Mm-hmm. But, hey, he could set picks and hustle. And he's a community service guy. Remember that.
We have 2 ball handlers.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to maximize Dwight, play him in the only Luka minutes. Play Wood in the only Kyrie minutes.
Now, you know what else, too? If Dwight is so important, why doesn't he get a lot of minutes in the playoffs? Because his minutes get cut drastically in the playoffs.
That's the thing that I have seen people admit is that he's not going to play in the playoffs. So if you're already saying that, why would we not try to maximize getting comfortable with Christian Wood?
Thank you.
Playing those minutes now.
Thank you.
Let him work through the mistakes.
He gonna play more than Christian Wood. I mean, Christian Wood gonna play more than him in the playoffs. So yeah, you're right.
So make Christian Wood mad all season, and then throw him in the playoffs and say, earn your money.
So the thing that gets me about this whole thing is he telling me that Mark Cuban is not looking at this situation with a raised eyebrow, like what is going on? Like this doesn't look reminiscent of anything he talked about in that book about Jason Kidd, like what he's doing right now. Okay.
You think he can?
You know what? I've definitely had my opinions of Mark Cuban here, man, over the last few years, but nah, you're right. You're right.
Let me say this. I don't dislike Mark Cuban. But I have my issues with the way he runs his business.
Yes.
Seems like a cool guy. At a bar, like, hey, shots on you, right? You know? Yeah. But the way he running the team, I ain't feeling it, bro. I ain't feeling it. I tried to get a Jason Kidd thing. Nico was turning out good right now.
Yeah.
The Nico hire.
I like Neo. I like Nico.
Jason Kidd, on the other hand, I'm not going to call for his head after the second season because he's got one good season and one bad so far. But I need to see some improvement. We can't sit on this. We don't have 4 years of Jason Kidd to sit around and waste Luka's career away.
Right.
Luka isn't even in his prime yet. He's not even close to it, to be quite honest. Prime is around what, 27, 28 usually?
Mhm. Yeah.
It's not even close to it. And this is not the old NBA where coaches get chance after chance after chance for years. Like,
Right.
coaches are in and out of the door. But Mark Cuban tends to like to keep things old school, in a sense. Can't do that with Jason Kidd. The minute this dude starts showing signs of he's not the one, get him out of there and get
Get him out of
somebody
there.
else.
Yeah.
Can't waste time.
Let me ask y'all a question. Let's just say if it comes down to this, do y'all think that Mark Cuban will let Kyrie walk before he fires Jason Kidd?
Yeah. I think me and Bibs talked about that.
I
I
don't.
think he would.
I think that's the only way that Kid gets fired.
That's what I was thinking.
I think that Mark Cuban, since 2011, has been incredibly thirsty for a superstar-laden team, and I think he fired Avery Johnson as a
For
scapegoat.
dirt. Yeah.
So if Kyrie sat down and said, "Hey, really love playing with Luka. I think I like it here in Dallas, but I don't know if I can do another year with Jason Kidd as the coach. I'll do the deal, but Jason Kidd got to go." I think Mark Cuban gonna hesitate. I
Now,
think it's going at bare minimum.
there are two factors to that. The first one, both factors make it unlikely. The first one, Kyrie's admiration for Jason Kidd.
Mm.
You never met a hero that let you down.
Second is the biggest one, I think. He's just coming out of a situation in Brooklyn where he and KD kind of tried to co-run things with the front office. Does he want his reputation to take a hit by saying he just came into this team halfway through the season and said, "I don't like that coach. He got to go"? I can't see Kyrie doing that.
I don't see Luka doing it either because he doesn't want the reputation of being a coach killer.
I don't think Luka give a damn. Not like he don't care. It's just like,
No, I know what you mean though. Yeah.
I'm a hoop regardless. Like,
Mhm.
hey, Bibs, I actually have an update on that thing I texted you about earlier. Since this is a members only, thing, I'll
This could go a
kind
lot
of
of ways.
reveal it.
This could go a lot of ways, but all right.
This could go a lot of ways. It's only gonna go one way though. For the people that don't know, I have a podcast called the Mind of Reese podcast that I do with my two friends who live in Texas, Jerron and Derek. My friend Jerron's cousin just got a grant or something during halftime for her foundation from the Mavs. And he was texting her. He was texting her like months ago. He tried to get us an interview for the Mavs Outsiders. He was texting her, and she said, "You know, who was the person from the Mavs you wanted for the interview?" And she said, "Never mind." I went back to our messages. He asked for Tim Hardaway Jr., but I would have preferred Josh Green. But you know, a Mav is a Mav, right?
As y'all better say, yeah.
So, he just hit the group chat. She sent the picture with her and Tim. She's at the Mavs ball. She said, "He told me no." It's a picture of her and Tim. Said, "He told me no," laughing emoji. But he said he'll check it out. But I know he was lying.
We don't want that. We don't like that.
My boy Jerron replied and said, "Yeah, he for sure lying his ass off. He a bum anyways."
Hey, I will say this:
trash can juice. So
Yeah.
we have not had nice things to say about that man. But Christian Wood likes the podcast. I'm gonna say that.
You're harder on Tim than I am.
I've had to deal with him for a lot longer.
Have you?
Yes, I've watched him since the Hawks because
that was a choice, brother.
It was, but I did it, and I'm tired of looking at him.
My opinion of Tim is,
I'm sorry, Bibs.
he's a gunslinger.
Yes.
I tell Bibs all the time. Bibs says it when he goes through the box scores on the post game recap. It's not a joke. I don't care what his efficiency is. Like, if he shoots an efficient game, fantastic.
Man, he been doing the last two games too. Proud
If
of
he
him.
shoots 5 for 15, but he scores over 10 points, I'm happy. Bibs is even at a mindset. I don't think I've ever said this to Bibs. I'm curious what his reaction is going to be to this. Bibs is of the mindset, man, look, if Tim is out there and you see early that he ain't hitting, take him out the game.
Yeah, we say that too.
I don't agree. And I'll tell you why I don't agree. Because he's a volume shooter.
Oh, he's the definition of it.
He's like J.R. Smith level volume shooter without J.R. Smith talent.
Yes, exactly.
He's gonna get his shots up. Now, granted, I don't want him bringing the ball up with 4 seconds off the shot clock and bombing a three.
Oh,
like I don't want that. But he's gonna get his shots up. And the more he needs to get his shots up for them to fall. And if we just put him on the bench now, that's just one less body. And it's like, at least let him go out there and don't put him in crunch time. Please, God, don't put him in crunch time. But throughout the game, we got to try something. Well, that was before we got Kyrie. Now I'm like, we got another dude who can give 25. We don't really need.
They said they want nobody going 2 for 50, man.
Hey,
I forgot what. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
50 shots. He not making it out of AAC, bro. He not making it out, bro. If Tim Hardaway Jr. shoots 50 shots, the team with Kyrie and Luka, he's not making it out. That's malice in the palace too,
bruh. Oh, my bad, King. You were saying? What were you saying?
Oh, I was saying that. We never gonna get the $18 million a year that we paid for him out of him. But at this point in his career, he might as well, with this talent around him, try his hardest to be the best spot-up shooter he can be. If he's supposed to be a shooter and a guy that can shoot 40%, then he should be a guy that should be out there trying to be Klay Thompson as best as possible, just moving around on the three-point line and just catching spot-up. And if it's one guy that's collapsing towards him, then I'm okay with him trying to take the guy off the dribble to the rim and nobody at the rim. But if it's anybody more than that, then bro, pass the ball out. That's what we need Tim Hardaway Jr. to do.
Please don't put the ball on the floor. Just shoot it. So it hit your hands, just shoot it. That's all we need you to do.
That contract year, Tim Hardaway Jr. was crazy, man. Like what
in the playoffs for 3 games. In the playoffs for 3 games. Not crazy, Reese. In the playoffs against the Clippers, when we were looking for street clothes to help us out, and we always scarred because street clothes or somebody or a center or somebody else always let us down. So we accept 15 or 16 points a game and give him $18 million.
He was in 6th man of the year conversations that year.
But that ain't worth $18 million. Not at that point, it wasn't. So
we had to do what we needed to do to keep people at
to be the second best player on the team.
Second best? Nah.
And on the playoffs. That's why they gave him the money, because at that time in the playoffs, he was showing the ability because he was the second best player on the playoffs. That year against the Clippers, when Street Clothes gave you 13 and 5, he was giving you like 16 to 17.
KP was pissing down his own leg. We needed Tim Hardaway Jr.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why he got his $18 million, but he's definitely not worth $18 million. That's like giving Maxey $11 million after those 3 games in the playoffs.
That contract that he signed, isn't that, maybe I got it backwards. It like goes down.
Yeah, it go down.
Yeah.
It goes down. So it goes down to like 16 next year, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I still want us to trade him this offseason. I don't care how much it's down.
I think we all do.
Here's the thing that I think a lot of Mavs fans do. Because we have so many players that are being asked to do more than they're actually capable of, if they are successful at any level, we overrate them. I think Larry has a comment saying, Christian Wood is good at being a 7th or 8th man. I can kind of agree with that. He like a 6th, 7th, 8th man off a bench on a championship team would be perfect for him. He's not really a starting. If you're going to play him at center, he's not a starting center. If you're not going to put him with a center that complements him perfectly, then he's not a starting center. But neither is Maxey, neither is Dwight Powell. But that's what we got to work with. So somebody got to start. Dwight Powell is a guy that should play 15, 20 minutes maybe on a good team.
It's funny you said that, man, because I use this example, like you just said, for some odd reason, we love to keep these guys, the Dwights, the Maxies, the Dodos, and all these guys, right? And I told folks, man, look, these guys, like you just said, Bibs, what you just said, I've been saying this. If these guys were on any other contending team, they would probably, they'd be journeymen or they'd be barely making the rotation. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang well, Dwight Powell, who can't do nothing but just hustle and do community service work, is not going to get no starting position on any other team but the Dallas Mavericks.
No.
And I
Barely gonna
use
get-
this example of look, what is Dorian doing right now? You see what I'm saying? Now remember, when we traded him, folks was in here, oh man, we didn't lost the trade, it's over. We need to go ahead and sell the team because your best defender is gone. And I told folks, I said, listen, man, if he is your best defender, if he's supposed to be this lockdown guy that's supposed to be a generational defensive guy that's supposed to change a team, why are you in the bottom half of the defense? Now remember, the one year with us having Luka, the one year that you actually had a top 5 defense was because Luka decided to play defense. You still didn't have a center, and you still had those same key rotational guys that you had over the last 815 years. The only difference is that one guy in Luka decided to buy in on the defense, which got your team to top 5 in the league. Now, if Dodo was supposed to be, like I said, I tell folks all the time, do not get me wrong. I like Dodo. I was not screaming, get him out of here, nothing like that. But I've always said, if you can get something better in return, I got to do it. And I'm not going to sit here and shed a tear if they trade Dodo. I'm sorry. And it's showing right now in Brooklyn. Now, you don't have anybody else over there like a Luka or Kyrie over there in Brooklyn. You got all the time in the world now to really show everybody what they've been talking about as far as you being that guy. And what is he doing right now? I told folks this before earlier. If you go on Brooklyn Twitter, they trying to get rid of that guy right now. What in the heck are we thinking picking this guy up? He's trash, blah, blah, blah. And this is what I keep trying to tell folks, man. Like, if you put these guys, the Maxis, the guy, people in Mav Kingdom, man, swear they think Maxi is Jesus. Like, as soon as he come back, we locking everybody up. This defense is going to be top 5 in the league as soon as Maxi come back. And I kept reminding folks, this is the same Maxi that was getting killed by Kevon Looney, which is the reason why you went and picked up JaVale McGee. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were getting killed by Kevon Looney, and on top of that, going into the playoffs for that 2.5 months, he couldn't hit anything. He wasn't good at. He was getting roasted on defense. He couldn't hit nothing, and everybody used to come in here in the comments and say, "Let's get rid of Maxi." But this is the same guy. Before he came back, he's Jesus. We glad we got him back. We have to be number 1 in defense in the league now.
Did you see Skin Wade's rant the other day?
Yeah, I saw it. I thought about you when I saw that. I said this because you said you were talking about Mad Media on y'all podcast, and I thought about that when I seen that. I said this is what I'm talking about, man. Remember we did the same thing with the White Power. Remember? Oh, y'all gotta apologize when the White Power had them little 3 or 4 games in a row, or whatever. You gotta apologize. We have the same talk every year. You have 2 or 3 good games, and now we're at the point now like we got to get rid of this guy every year. Unplayable in the playoffs, and he's trash towards the end of the season. We had the same talk every year.
You mentioned Dorian. Bibs, you remember what I texted you before? I sent you a text message about Dorian like a month ago after he got traded.
I don't remember the details, so I'm gonna let you lay it out.
I would never say this on Twitter because I know the backlash I would get.
I feel you. I feel you.
After Dorian got traded, Monday, February 6th at 8:24 p.m. This was like after the trade or whatever. Not directly after, but I think like a day after. Am I wrong for thinking Dorian might get exposed out here now that he's not playing with Luka? I hate that I'm even having that thought. LOL.
I'm just saying, Reese.
And I know what the comment's gonna say. Dorian actually had a good game today. Good for him. I wish the best for Dorian. I swear. Like,
I do too.
Not even on no hating. It's just a lot of people like to say Luka's holding these guys back. Oh, Luka's got this talent. These guys look better because of Luka.
Thank you.
I saw someone in the comments say, and it wasn't them, they were quoting Max Kellerman, saying Luka is a bad teammate because he held Jalen Brunson back. Let me tell y'all something about Jalen Brunson. Why is it that Luka was holding Jalen Brunson back and not that Jalen Brunson wasn't good enough to play alongside Luka? Jalen Brunson's best moments came when he wasn't on the court with Luka. Jalen Brunson's a damn good player. Deserved to be an all-star.
Yeah.
Over Julius Randle, I believe.
Yeah, we said that too.
But he's going to the Knicks. The ball is always in his hands. He's the primary ball handler. Who else on that team is really they're not trusting RJ Barrett to handle the ball like that.
Ooh, no.
Julius Randle is capable, but he's not a guard. he's not gonna. No, it's Jalen Brunson. Like, I wonder what his goddamn usage is right now.
But you got to
Like-
look also the fact his dad even said he was ready to take the 455 in January because of his confidence not being where it needed to be. He was ready to take 4 years, 55 million to stay in Dallas because he didn't think he was that guy. How is that Luka's fault that he
How
didn't
is
think
that
he was
Luka's
that guy?
fault?
Now he went on to after we
Big,
broke his heart. Go ahead, King.
Oh, I was just going to say the piggy bank.
King,
Just
you went
breaking
out.
up a little bit.
Oh,
Oh man.
hold on, King. Try again.
All right.
I think G was just developing. I feel like everybody that's shit keeps going in and out. Am I here? No.
No,
you
good.
Gone?
Oh, it was probably
Now you muted. Okay, there you go. Try again.
Go ahead, you guys. Hold on. Am I here? Am I here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
try
good.
it now.
Okay. I was saying I think it's basically that Jalen Brunson. I feel like Jalen Brunson basically was just developing. I think everybody is spoiled by Luka Doncic, and that we think that everybody comes in the league because of him, and now and it's supposed to be that guy right away. Like guys don't develop in the league anymore. Guys don't like De'Aaron Fox. Guys don't like anybody like that. Even Josh Green, when guys are ready to throw him away, some Mavs fans and all after his first year or whatever, or even after his second year last year, and then love him this year, be one of the favorite men. I just think that Jalen Brunson, even if he would have been on this team this year, I feel like we'd have got that same Jalen Brunson. I think Jalen Brunson is the Jalen Brunson he is because he played with Luka Doncic. I don't think that Jalen Brunson would be the Jalen Brunson that he is on the New York Knicks if he had not played with Luka Doncic and under that same tutelage that Luka Doncic played with Jason Kidd and all. So I don't think it's that he was held back. I think Jalen Brunson would be averaging close to 20 points a game this year as a starter if he played on Dallas Mavericks.
And the thing is with Jalen Brunson, like, people are using Jalen Brunson in New York right now and saying, "Oh, see, Luka did have the talent. He just couldn't get it done." Like, do we have revisionist history?
I guess we do.
Like, do people not remember that Jalen Brunson's one good season with the Dallas Mavericks was last year? Like, before that, he wasn't even averaging 20 minutes per game, I'm pretty sure. He didn't even play in the playoffs the second time against the Clippers. He
Got benched.
he wasn't in the bubble against the Clippers the first time
Because of the shoulder.
because of the shoulder. Like, what are we talking about? Like, the year before last, before his breakout season, we were ready to trade Jalen Brunson. Rightfully so. Like, the dude couldn't operate a pick and roll to save his life. He wasn't a point guard. He was a shooting guard that was 6'1", and that really just wasn't going to work. He developed the next year. Like, he was the secondary ball handler. But we really only got that 1 year of that. And you see where it took us. It took us to the conference finals.
I would go as far as to say, if we didn't do what we did to him, he might not have turned that corner as quickly as he has. When he
said it's motivation.
back to you, what are you saying?
You saying it's motivation? What
Right.
we did to him was motivation to be
happened
what he is now?
I always said coming out of the draft, I thought he was going to have a Kyle Lowry type trajectory. He was going to come in, be a good backup for a couple of years, and eventually he was going to want to run his own show because he's a leader. That's what he did at Villanova. He led a team to 2 championships. He came here, and it was a little rougher than maybe he expected. Multiple times, he was ready to sign that 455 extension. Even right before the deadline, he was like, you know what? I'm happy here. I don't know if I can go somewhere and be that guy. Just give me the 455, and we'll figure it out. And they said, no, we want to be able to trade you. We want the option to be able to trade you. So the trade deadline passes now. All right, here you go, Jalen. Here's your 455. We couldn't find a package to send you in. He was like, nah, I think I'm going to ride this out now. I think I'm gonna try to be the best I can be. And if somebody comes along and wants to pay me to be a leader of their team, then I'm out of here. His dad probably got on the phone the next day. Hey, what old buddy is Leon Rose? Is that his father, godfather?
Godfather, yeah.
Like, hey, Leon, what can we do to get my boy on the roster? He'd be the best point guard y'all had in 20 years. And moves started happening. Now people say, oh, he went to be with his daddy. We allowed that to occur. We could have locked him up. We chose not to lock him up. We hurt his feelings. The player empowerment era, that's what we're in, right?
Yeah.
And the Mavs seem to not understand that yet. Between how they handle Jalen Brunson, how they're handling Christian Wood, we're not keeping the player in mind. All these other teams hand out those extensions like that to these young players early because they know you have to take care of them, make them happy. Even if you plan to trade them later, get them extensions quick to take care of them. But we want to play games with people.
No, it's not the only player they're really concerned with is Luka.
Pretty much.
Like, nobody else counts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still got to add 13 other guys on the squad. You know what I mean? So, like you said, let's get these guys happy too. Not everybody, but you know what I mean. Like,
right.
Especially with the two guys that we talked about this before. You're giving up first round picks for, man. That's currency in the league, bro. Like, you gotta. Why would you give up this first round pick and then just throw this guy in the corner and it's like, okay, we'll get to him whenever? It's like, what the hell are you doing? Like, use this man. You know what I mean? And I know we always talk about, man, as Mavs fans, we've been talking about this probably since 2011, right? The fact that we can't afford to be picky on our talent. If you got guys in here or you got guys that want to come, like I know me and King talked about, remember Laurie Marketing wanted to come. Goran Dragic wanted to come. There was somebody else that I think we brought up too. I can't remember. But when you got these guys who want to come to play for your team and stuff like that, and then you got the talent on your team, like the Kyries and the Christian Woods and all that stuff, and the JBs, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta handle that a little better, man. Like, it's 2023. Like, why are you oblivious to how things work? I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's just like your incompetence or it's just that whole I'm the smartest guy in the room type complex. It's like, what are you doing? And then it's embarrassing, man, because then, like, you see those different, like, national media guys talking about us and how we running things, or you go on Twitter, you see folks who aren't Mavs fans talking about how we run things, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's embarrassing, man, because it's common sense stuff that us as fans can see, and we just kind of wondering why aren't y'all doing it? And then sometimes I feel like because they focus on us so much, it's like they do the opposite because we did say it. Like, I don't want to prove that they're right. Let me just do this. It's like, and then like in Jason Kidd's case, then when you start, say, Christian Wood, you're doing it out of necessity now because folks is hurt. You have to start him. But if you had just started him in the beginning, it would have been better. You know what I'm saying? And I see folks, they're talking about Christian Wood, this and that and this. Listen, man, if people remember, we had our longest win streak when Christian Wood was starting. Nobody talks about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all look at what's going on with him now. And I brought this up to, matter of fact, Larry brought that up to him on the last show. It's like nobody remembers that we had the longest win streak of our season when he started. He had the best defensive stretch when he started. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't remember Maxi Kleber coming there and getting just 2 blocks a game in that little stretch that he was in any stretch of the season. You know what I'm saying? Or especially Dwight Powell. Hell, we begging Dwight Powell to give us 5 rebounds. He can't even do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I be confused by sometimes with the Mavs fans, man. It's like don't listen to that media propaganda, man, because a lot of them guys, this member's on this, I guess I can say all this. The Bobby Carrillas and all those guys, they can sit out there and push all that nonsense out there and folks to eat it up. Like, oh yeah, Bobby said it, that's true. And it's like, but I'm looking at it with my own eyes though, bro. Like, you can't give me shit and say that it's pudding. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not tricking me, bro. Like, I can see it for myself. And so that's why I say I'm to the point now, like, yes, I'm a Mavs fan. I've been a Mavs fan my whole entire life, right? From Dallas, born and raised. But it's to the point now, like, look, I told King this probably 3 or 4 months ago when this stuff started going down. I feel like Christian Wood is gone. I've been said that. I said it was gone. It had nothing to do with the players. Had nothing to do with playing with Luka. Luka had nothing to do with it. It was that one guy. That one guy, Jason Kidd. Why would I want to stay for a guy who's treating me this way?
I can't just put it on Jason Kidd. It's the front office too, because then they're treating him just as bad. Jason,
you're right, Reese. You're right. Because why are you not stepping in and saying something? Especially Mark Cuban. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Jason Kidd is the face of it because he's the coach and he's the one like basically dishing out the law. Like, yeah, you're not going to get these minutes. I'm going to put you on the bench. But front office is definitely just as bad. It's the Mavericks organization as a whole, and you can kind of tell that the players like Christian Wood, like Luka.
Yeah, they do.
Playing with Christian Wood, and vice versa. So like, what I don't understand, man. It's self-sabotage and it's stupid.
I got I got some more info. I guess I could share. This is members only, right?
Yeah, it's members only. You good?
It was pointed out in one of this. I actually talked to somebody yesterday who was trying to share stuff without sharing stuff. But basically, he was like, "How many like veteran NBA guys do we have working for us that have worked for other teams and stuff?" Like almost none.
Yeah.
Every single reporter worships the ground that Cuban walks on. The one time ESPN reporters got out of line, they got their credentials revoked.
I said that. I said that. We talked about that. Yeah, you're right. Me and King talked about that.
I got a couple people that are newly credentialed people that are making a little bit of waves, making a little bit of noise, not, earning their stripes or whatever, however they want to do it. And the people that are the veterans in the room are looking at them crazy. Like, who do you think you are?
Oh, here we go.
Mark Cuban, the fish rots from the head, right?
Yeah.
Mark Cuban runs his business a certain way. Skin Wade, when he came on our podcast.
Yep, heard that.
He allegedly, I guess he thought he was shooting it down, that he has to talk a certain way because he works for the Mavs. He admitted that he said something that was anti-Cuban line, if you will. He went against the Cuban line, and somebody pulled him to the side and talked to him about it. He said that occurred. He said they didn't threaten to take my job, but if somebody pull you to the side and say, "Hey, what you doing?" That's
It's like, hey, you out of line a little bit. Get back in there.
that's a warning, right?
Yeah.
So if Mark Cuban only wants people around to do his bidding, then nobody gets to do their job. Everybody's doing what Mark Cuban wants. And if you start to go away from what Mark Cuban wants, you're probably not going to be there that long. I can't remember who it was that we hired to the front office. It was like a big name. I can't think of the name right now. It was like 2013 or so. And they left after like a month.
Oh, I remember that.
And I think you brought
He came from Houston.
Right. Yeah. The dude, was it Rosas?
So I think so. I wondered about that. I was like, why did that dude leave? So he just signed him. How did he leave already?
Right.
I know exactly what you're talking about, bitch.
That's the
exactly
only guy that I think we've even attempted to hire that was like a big name from somewhere else. And he left after like a month because you read between the lines. He came in, saw how Cuban operates, and said, "I can't work in these conditions," and dipped. You mentioned being a Mavs fan all your life and being stressed about it. I've been a Mavs fan. I'll say all my life, all my NBA fanhood, 25 years, and it's hard. Like I've sat and had like debates, like what would be the one thing that could push me over the edge to like not being able to claim the Mavs out loud. And there's some stuff that could go down this summer that might could do it. I try to root for the players separate from the organization at this point.
Man, what you're saying right now, that was kind of my thinking, man, with the Cowboys, right? With the whole like Jerry Jones and NFL thing, and I remember my pops was like, every time you see him out, he got his Cowboy stuff on, no matter where he goes. And I was like, I kind of like what you saying. It's like, what's going on? Don't you want to kind of step away from that? And he's like, man, I'm rooting for the players, like you just said. I'm rooting for the players, and now I got to kind of ask myself that, what is the tipping point for me? Because like I said, man, this is all I've known my whole entire life since I was born, man, is the Mavericks. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's a good point, bro. I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. The tipping point for me, it would have to be something like where I morally feel like I can't, like I just can't do it anymore.
Right.
Like an expose, another one.
Another one, yeah.
Yeah, like like something else like that, and I'm like, all right, this either sell the team or I morally can't do it. But them just being bad, man, or like if we lose Luca, I'm gonna be like, damn. Still a Mavs fan, but
Yeah, still a Mad fan, but it ain't gonna be easy.
I've been a Mavs fan for 20 years.
Mhm.
I can't just walk away because we don't have some players or the front office is trash or the owner sucks at his job. Well, does he have a job? I don't know. The owner sucks at letting people do their job. Um, yeah, it's gonna be hard. Like I'm a Saints fan, and just one season of that organization being the way it is got me like, boy, I'm stressed out.
Right.
So like, if the Mavs, I hope Luca doesn't leave.
Oh, I think we all do, but I would not blame him if he left.
I would not. I would root for him wherever he goes.
It's like, man, look, we me as a fan, we didn't pay attention to the ends, the goings of the front office and all that type of stuff. I mean, yeah, of course, trades and all that stuff, but the stuff that we know now, we didn't really pay attention to all that. So it kind of changes your mind about certain things or whatever with the organization. So it's like now doing what we do now and knowing this stuff, it's just like you said, Bibs. I'm just like when you ask that question, I'm just like, it's gonna be extremely hard, bro, because I'm you know a fan first before before we're content creators or whatever. Right. So it's gonna be extremely hard for me. But that's a question I'm gonna have to answer to for myself, man. It's like, if it gets to that point, it's like, what's that? Like you said, what is that tipping point?
I have to ask you a question.
What's up?
Behind that? Do you feel like doing what you do with the channel has made it harder because you have to actually talk about it so often? Because like when you're just a fan, you can just take a day off, not engaged on Twitter, whatever. But when you're doing content, you can't do that.
It really started affecting us because at first it was fun. We just like talking about the Mavericks, but like you said, once we kind of got really entrenched in it and everything, numbers start going up, and then now it's to the point if Dallas going to 3 or 4 game losing streak or whatever, it is hard because you have to try to be the kind of like that even kill person for the fans. The fans are ready to come in here and just fire everybody, cut everybody, trade everybody or whatever, right? So we got to try to do our best to. I know we mad. I know they lost 8 games in a row or whatever, but we got to try to be that voice to be like, yo, it's gonna be okay type thing. But deep down inside, as a Mavs fan, I'm like, I'm ready to jump ship too. I don't know, but no, it is hard, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Especially what was that? Didn't we lose like 2 in a row here before we beat Philly? Was it 3 in a row?
2 or 3? Let's see.
Yeah, something like that.
2 in a row.
2 in a row.
Lakers and Pacers. Yeah, we beat the Spurs before that.
Listen, that's the hard. That was a hard 2 games, man. It was hard, like cause. When you're happy about what's going on, you have different things you can talk about when you're happy. But when you're not happy, bro, it's just like we say this all the time because folks like, oh, they love when we rant. And it's like I don't like ranting, bro. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? And we know how numbers go up when we can do the rants and stuff. But I don't like the ranting part, bro. Because when we rant, we're ranting about the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the White House this, such as that or whatever. Like you already heard me say that a million times, so I don't want to keep talking about that when we lose. I want to talk about some different stuff. Hey, man, Josh Green did this in this game today, but in this game he did this. You know what I mean? I want to talk about something different each game instead of talking about the same thing when they lose. But yeah, it is hard, man. But so like the one thing I can say, man, by doing this is like the Glow Yard, man. They do help us, man. Like there's times like we lose, me and Keno have no energy. It's like, bro, we just lost a 27-point lead. Last thing I want to do is talk about basketball right now. I'm mad, We come in here and everybody just bringing that energy. It's like, okay, we can talk about it now a little bit. And I can kind of vent just a little bit. But I know like TGK does the pregame shows. I know it's hard for him. Especially when you come in, your show is right after a loss. So it's like you got to bring that energy for them to get ready for the game. You know what I mean? So I know that's got to be hard for him. But yeah. I was going to ask y'all something, man. Let me ask y'all this. Knowing what we know, knowing how things are running, if you had to put King's house on it, do y'all think we're going to re-sign Kyrie?
I think there's still, I would say 60-40.
Yes, 60-40 yes.
60-40 yes?
60-40 yes.
Okay.
I'm a notch lower. I'm going 55-45. Yes.
Man, y'all not getting me. I was hoping y'all gonna be in the 90 range.
Hell no.
It's so many things that can happen.
Talking about.
I want to feel confident here, man. Cause I'm trying. You know how it is, man. We don't really know for a fact. We gotta look at every little thing. Okay, how's he walking? You know, what kind of clothes he got on today? Like, what? Oh, he usually when he happy, he got those shoes on. That type thing. You know what I'm saying? So
They got him at the Mavs ball tonight with his daughter.
Yeah.
I don't know how excited he was about that. But
See how he was dressed at the Mavs ball?
He looked like he just let me grab a shirt real quick.
Them white folks
Yeah,
about to be mad at him up in there, boy.
that's why I said I want Kyrie to stay. Not just because he's good. I mean, I feel like Kyrie brings a different dimension to the team, not other than his game. It's like you look at him, it's like the way he carries himself, his maturity is different, man. He feels like somebody that you can kind of rest on if things don't go right, type thing. You know what I mean? I know Luka's our guy, or whatever, but he just brings that completely different dimension to the team, bro. And like, it feels some kind of like presence when he's there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a steady presence. That's what we missing on this team. We probably need a couple more guys like that in the off season. But
I'll say this: I think that the formula is there for this to be a good spot for him. I think he's at a point in his career where he just wants to chill.
yeah,
I think Dallas is a good place for that. I think players that have come here historically have said that it's a good place to like. I always joke that we were a retirement community for NBA players. Like players come here to get their money right with the tax money.
right.
No crazy nightlife they got to worry about. Paparazzi not really crazy. The media is gonna take it easy on you for the most part. You could just kind of chill. And I think he wants that at this point in his career. I don't think he feels the need to be the guy. Like I think PG just came out the other day and said, I don't think I can be the best guy on the team. I think Kyrie's at that point in his career as well. I think he realized that after the Celtics. So the formula is there. I think he likes Luka. I think he likes playing with Luka. He immediately said, I got to work on these catch and shoot opportunities to be the best version of myself that I can be for him. And that's less wear and tear on him if he can get a lot of his buckets that way. Like I said, everything is in place for this to be a good spot for him. Going back to what we started with, though, if he sees how the organization is run, he sees how people are treated, is that going to be enough to make him doubt and consider those other options?
That's what I'm scared of. Because like you just the positive that you just ran down, I said that it's like, look, it's a major market, but it's not like LA and New York where they're constantly on you. Because think about it, if you go to in here, you don't constantly see like folks like just other than it's not gonna work or whatever. They look at us after the losses or whatever. But with New York, with LA, they're constantly talking about LA on every single thing that they do. You don't have that here, man. You can, like you said, you can kind of relax a little bit. And I think if once he signs the contract this summer or whatever, and he's permanently on the team, I think they'll just not forget about him, but it's not going to be as he's not going to be in the public eye as much as far as like if he was on New York or he was on LA. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, like, man, I think he would be able to, you know what I'm saying? I think he would probably be, I think he'd stay, man. I mean, that's me as a Mavs fan, I guess. I hope he stays, man, because I like what he brings to the team, man. Hold on, let me get this super chat. Oh, man, Larry, appreciate you, man. Larry, look, I'm telling you, I don't want to get you in trouble with the misses or nothing, man, please. But nah, thank you, though, man. He says C. Wood has struggled to give effort and is slow at all rotations or have complete brain lapse. He makes multiple mistakes on offense to where you can have to see him apologize at least 2 or 3 times a GM because of turnovers and misplays. One of y'all want to tackle that?
Now let me ask you this. Would you rather have all of that while Christian Wood is averaging 18 and 8 or have anything the White Powell gives you?
Not only that, 18 and 8, but he's doing it efficiently.
I would say the fact that he's willing to acknowledge, I messed up is a positive sign that it's something that he could improve upon. I would say that he did improve upon it. I think he had a lot of these types of little stretches early in the season as well. When he got in the starting lineup, it was happening less.
And that's what I was trying to tell him. I was like, You bring that stuff up, and it's like, but I never seen anybody else. KP, even we had KP, he was not doing what Christian Wood did in that stretch of when he started. Nobody, no big, not Dwight Powell, not Maxi Kleber, not JaVale McGee, not KP, whoever else you want to name that was a big here, man, with Luka. None of those guys had done any of that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the part that gets me, man, with some of the fans when they try to point out some of the deficiencies of Christian Wood, but then you want to extend Maxi Kleber and Dwight Powell for another 10 years. You're cool with mediocrity. Like, just keep those mediocre guys that wouldn't start or even be in a rotation on any other team but here.
I think when you don't have that emotional connection to a guy of having them there for 5 years, it's easier to be harder on them than it is the other guys. Like Dwight Powell disappeared for 3 games. Nobody going to say a word. Dwight Powell go 3 games and get 3 rebounds. Nobody's going to say a word. You know, Dwight Powell gets bodied 3 straight games, layup after layup in his face. Never hear anybody complain about it.
Foul trouble in the first 2 quarters.
And I agree. Dwight Powell has these lapses. Like we know that. His agent said it. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that Christian Wood is a perfect defender. He makes mistakes. But like in the other day, he had that stretch at the beginning of the 4th quarter. He had 2 offensive fouls on bad screens. I think he had a 3 in transition that he bricked. And you could see the frustration building up in him. He doesn't like playing like that.
Nobody.
You know,
yeah.
He set those screens. People talk about he sets terrible screens. He was trying to set better screens, and in doing so, he's skinny. So he leaned into one of them, and the other one he was moving, which was a point of emphasis this year. They've been calling it a lot more. Like, I see people get away with it all the time. He didn't get away with it, and the only way to improve, you know, when you're teaching your kid to ride a bike, they're gonna fall a couple times. The only way to improve on those things is to make mistakes. Can't make an omelet without breaking a couple legs, you know, that type of deal. Like, you gotta let him struggle through it to get to where we want him to get. And when he's not allowed to do that, he's never going to get to where we want him to get. That's the way I personally see those things. And again, as long as he's apologetic, he's acknowledging he made mistakes. Like the other night, Vucevic got called out by Pat Beverly for missing a rotation, and Vucevic walked away from him like, "Don't talk to me." That's the type of stuff that would make me worry about Christian Wood. But when Christian Wood is like, "Hey, my bad, Luka," I like that.
Willing to learn, man. Ain't that what we want? We want players that can be coachable. Let me see. I guess we can get to some of these questions and comments, man. I know I got some folks in here. King, I don't know. I wish you was in here, man. Let me see. Make sure there wasn't no more super chats in here. Hey, y'all, we can hit a few of these questions and comments, guys. I see a lot of y'all in here talking to each other and stuff. I'm trying to see any WTMs. Let's see.
I saw a couple.
Yeah, I saw a few good ones.
Yeah, got my cousin. TGK in here. Yeah. Cuz says, "Glow Yard, what's up, fam? What's good, cuz? What's good, man?" Let's see. I was trying to make sure because we're members only, a lot of them wouldn't do the WTMs. Cause we normally just through all the questions, but there's a lot of them here today. Oh, got another super chat. Larry with another one. He says, Christian Wood struggled during the win streak. Okay, sorry. I sometimes I gotta gather myself. He struggled against the win streak. You use that as an argument, but forgot Luka was going for 40 a game. That was during the 60-20-10 game. He literally had the team on his back. Do you know in that stretch, Larry, he averaged over 20 points and like 9 rebounds, with averaging 2 blocks a game? In the stretch he was starting?
I'm gonna pull it up on Basketball Reference because I want to get the numbers. Let me go to Wood actually. I'm gonna get to the game logs real quick. Should be easy. They let you isolate a stretch of games.
I like Basketball Reference.
So you want the full stretch he was starting, right?
Yep.
All right. So he had a 1 start, and then he went to the bench, and here's where he actually starting. So December 17th was when he moved into the starting lineup through January 18th. So a month, basically. 20.3 points per game, 9.4 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 2.4 blocks.
What?
Field
Hold
goal
on,
percentage.
you read Maxi Kleber's numbers or Dwight Powell's numbers?
This is Christian Wood.
Now, are you sure? Because he just said Christian Wood struggled in that streak, so
Let me
that can't be his
pull it up.
numbers.
Looks like Holy Pine to me. Yeah.
Get to that efficiency.
Yeah, go to the efficiency, please.
51% from the field,
Mm.
37% from three,
Damn,
81% from the line, shooting
What?
4.5 free throws a game.
man, that dude struggled, man. Oh my god, trade him. What are we
33
talking
minutes
about?
a game during that stretch. 33 minutes a game during that stretch. And there were times, and I understand it wasn't perfect, but there were times where he carried us for stretches. Like Luka was getting buckets, so was Christian Wood. I see
Yeah.
a 26-point game, a 30-point game, 25, 28, 27, 24, 23. Nobody else was doing that.
Whoa,
Larry
he
with
struggled
another-
though. That's some struggling number, but he gotta play better than that, man. He
Larry
gotta play
with
way.
another chat.
I
He
see.
gotta play
one-
better than that.
I see.
All right, what you got,
one
Larry?
understand.
You know his defensive rating during that stretch was 114.2.
That's a bad individual stat.
Here's my issue with that. First of all, defensive rating is a bad individual stat because it's
It's
really
based off of yeah.
yeah. But here's my thing. We've been on this podcast for 1 hour, 21 minutes and counting, and not once did we come on and praise Christian Wood's defense. The most we've said is, hey, he's a better rim protector than Dwight Powell, which is true. That's a fact. I'm not praising his defense, but what he brings on offense is much better than anything Dwight Powell is giving you.
Sounds about right.
It makes his offense makes up for his defense or lack thereof, basically.
So Larry, because Dwight Powell don't get more minutes than Christian Wood, and Christian Wood is the problem on defense. Why is our defense bottom of the half in the league then? If Dwight Powell is so valuable to this team, I'm just curious.
You don't see the Chicago Bulls bringing Nikola Vucevic off the bench in favor of Andre Drummond
Man, that dude is trash
has
at
better defense than Vucevic. And you could probably say, oh, well, they need to. No, they got DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine in the lineup.
Yep.
You could say, oh, they need Vucevic's offense off of the bench. No, don't tell me that. That's not. And Christian Wood's a better rim protector than Nikola Vucevic.
Dwight Powell has started 47 games. Christian Wood has started 17. Our defense is bottom 3.
The defense isn't going to get better regardless if Christian
But
Wood or
yet-
Dwight's in the lineup.
I don't see a super chat from you, Larry, criticizing Dwight Powell's defense.
I don't even need him to criticize the White House defense. That's
No, I
what-
mean, no, I understand. I'm just trying to figure out why they only pick on Christian Wood when we had Dwight Powell for the last like 8-9 years, and our defense hasn't been looking like lockdown. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to figure this out, man. Sometimes
Neither
I
one of
don't.
them is our savior on defense. Like, I think that was the thing I said initially when it was coming up. Is like, you don't bring Christian Wood in the game and expect him to suddenly turn into Rudy Gobert. Like,
Yeah.
that's not what I'm expecting of him. I expect him to get points. He's doing it more efficiently than KP Pop was capable of. He never got in Luka's way. You know what I mean? Like, he was doing exactly what we wanted KP to do on the offensive end. Every now and then he had a lapse on defense. Every now and then Luka had a lapse on defense. So what you do is you acknowledge that your two best players, yes, they were our two best players at the time. That everybody was saying it. All the media was saying it. This is the best. We had the poll, is Christian Wood the second best player or the best number 2 that Luka has had up to this point? And I think some people said late season Brunson, like they were using the caveats, but Wood was in the discussion. Wood was up there. And when you notice your two top players are defensive liabilities, you surround them with good
defense.
defenders.
Which is why folks were saying if you're gonna put Wood in there, put Maxey in there.
Right. And then we had the injuries. So we didn't really get and the data showed that Wood Maxey, this Tim McMahon even said this. The Wood Maxey combo is elite on both sides of the ball. Ridiculous offensive rating because we could play 5 out with 2 bigs that can shoot threes. And the defensive rating works because Christian Wood is in the right place about 70-60% of the time. And Maxey is an eraser who cleans up mistakes for the other 30-40. Josh Green is an eraser that cleans up Luka's missed rotations oftentimes. So that's why Josh Green and Luka combinations are through the roof. So you pair those two guys with those other two guys, and then you can be flexible with that other guy. Now we got Kyrie Irving can be that fifth guy. The data is there. We know it. We know how to protect ourselves defensively from Luka and Christian Wood lapses, but the coach does not seem to understand these things, and so we are where we are, where we have stretches where we put Dwight Powell out there as the only big, we put Christian Wood out there as the only big, and we wonder why teams score 60 points in the paint on us.
That can't be a right number, Bibs, because we got Dwight Powell.
100% sure it happened recently.
I mean, that doesn't make
100%.
sense. Larry also says, my argument is that I understand Key's position. He tried to teach him the offense and the defense and would struggle. Even now, Dwight Powell is not better. Maxey on a little due to defense. I'd rather have slow McGee, to be honest. We all would, Larry. We all would. Now, I don't know why. I told Keen this the last show. I said, man, I don't know why. Now, remember, his two choices were to go to either Milwaukee or Dallas. And the reason why he came to Dallas is because, they promised him a starting position. It is like, now he's not playing now. So I know he's sitting at there like, man, I could have just went ahead and went to Milwaukee. I would have had a chance to win the ring over there.
Milwaukee.
Yeah. It's like
they signed Ibaka. They already cut him.
Yeah.
At least he had a chance to win a championship. Well, he already
he could have. Yeah, he could have. Yeah, another one. You know what I mean? He could have won over there. We got a glow yard member, man. She said she met JaVale McGee's aunt, and she said kind of was saying the same thing we were saying. She said her aunt was kind of questioning that too. She's like, I don't know why they're not playing him. She was confused by that.
On the mom side or dad side, I got to know.
Dad, I don't know. She just said her aunt. But I don't know. But I just it's crazy to me, man. Like we get killed on size, but then you don't play the size.
10 minutes. That's all he got to do.
And that's what we said. We're not saying play 30 minutes. Can you just get him in there for at least 10 minutes? Put him in 2 minute increments here and there, man. That way you can, you know what I'm saying, something, man. Like there's no way on God's green earth you should have Dwight Powell as your primary big guy. No way, man. Like, it's just.
I think I said on the other pod the other day that Dwight Powell might need to complain at this point.
Because they're doing him dirty. Bodies at, so.
Something.
Does he like getting hit in the face? Like.
Backpack had a comment. He said, Reese, but we don't struggle on offense. Even when Wood is on the bench, we don't struggle. That is true. I do want to emphasize. I do want to clarify this. I wanted Wood to start more before we got Kyrie. I don't mind Wood coming off the bench now. That's what me and King said. My issue comes when he's not getting minutes. Like if he's coming off the other night, he played 14 minutes. Last night, played 14 minutes. 14. And screwed up my parlay, but he played 14 minutes, and it's like, why is Christian Wood playing? Like unless he's just really out there shitting the bed and not giving anything on offense, or he's in foul trouble, he should not be playing less than 20 minutes. I argue 25, but 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 to 25 is cool with me, but 14 is ridiculous.
Exactly, that's inexcusable, man. There was one game he completely didn't play in the third quarter at all. Matter of fact, he came into the fourth quarter with the third string players. I remember that game. That was the game we were down. What game was who we played? I can't think of it right now.
That was when he had that bad stretch to start the fourth.
Yeah, and then we played bad that whole game. We were down, but I forgot who it was. He got us back in the game. Him with the third string guys, and we cut it down to 10. It can't wait too long to put Luke in the back in the game. Let's say Maxey just came back. We had to suffer watch Wood for 3 months, but y'all rather praise him because he can score every now and then.
Suffer? I wasn't suffering. It wasn't the best experience, but I wasn't suffering watching Christian Wood play. And it's not praise; it's just facts. Like he
just read the numbers off, Larry. I'm confused on what you're saying that we suffered at.
I don't remember people complaining.
Nobody was complaining. That's the part I'm trying to get him to understand. In that stretch, we had our longest win streak when he started. Not with Maxey, not with the White Powell, not with JaVale McGee. It was with Christian Wood. So how do we suffer? I'm confused.
Look, I'll just leave it at we have a difference of opinion on Christian Wood, which is completely okay. It's completely okay.
I'm just, I guess, yeah, you're right.
Seven in a row? Yeah, 7
in a row. I'm just like, when last time we had 7 in a row? When he started. So, I don't know, man. I'm confused by that, Larry.
They like to say he doesn't contribute to winning basketball, even though
we just had the data and the numbers to prove it. But
this is the first winning team he's played on. Like,
yeah,
he played for the Pistons and the Rockets.
Man, matter of fact, what's that YouTube channel? King sent it to me a few days ago. This guy was talking about the whole just Maverick situation, pretty much Luka, and he talked about that. He said, man, Christian Wood went. I mean, King said this. He went to the Rockets thinking he was going to play with James Harden.
That's why he
had. Thank you. He had no idea that James Harden was going to ask for a trade when he got there. So that whole situation turned into a rebuild like that. He just left a rebuild. He wanted to play for, that's what I was going to ask y'all, because you said something too, Bibs, and I can say it now. You said one of the options that one of the teams that might be looking at him this summer is Charlotte.
100%.
So, listen, go to Charlotte.
Yeah, so what they said, and again, this is private-ish, so I feel comfortable saying making it a little bit more obvious. A lot of people said that Detroit didn't want him back, first of all, like as a way to say, that nobody likes him. Detroit didn't want him to stay. Yes, they did. They did.
Yeah.
He wanted to go to Houston, like you said, because he wanted to play with James Harden. Like he wanted that. What did I say his goals were when he came to Dallas? All-Star championship. Those are the two things he wants for his life, for his career. Those are the things he values. And so he went to play with James Harden. James Harden left, and he suffered on a rebuilding team. Like I don't know how they're surviving down there. I pray for Coach Silas because I don't know how he's dealing with it. But he stayed through that situation. They said, we didn't know that there was going to be a trade. But, as we're having conversations, we're talking about where do you want to go next. He said, Charlotte or Dallas were the places he wanted to go. He wanted to play with Luka or LaMelo. That's the type of point guard he wants to play with, right? So it ends up happening. Dallas trade happens. He gets to Luka, one of the guys he wanted to play with. He loves Luka. He loves playing with Luka. But if the team's going to play with him, the agent pretty much said in those certain terms that the agent can talk to other teams. And he has players on other teams. Charlotte's still interested. Charlotte is still very interested. He still wants to play with LaMelo. Cade Cunningham now becomes a guy that falls into that mold of a guy that can get buckets and also distribute. So the relationship is there with Detroit. He could go back there. So he has options in the offseason. We can't, as much as we want to run his price down by restricting his minutes and making people think that there must be something happening behind it. That's another thing I want to address. When we have these national games, you're hearing the national broadcast saying, it's kind of weird. Christian Wood suddenly not playing any minutes.
Exactly.
Hollinger just put out an article the other day talking about the teams that are struggling. And he said that Christian Wood going to the bench is one of the weirdest things happen. One of the weirdest storylines in the NBA right now. Nobody is agreeing with this besides Mavs fans.
And Larry.
Besides Kid, and are they really questioning him about it?
Who are the ones asking the questions, Bibs? Who are the ones asking the questions?
Exactly.
The people that want to be in his pocket. They're not answering the questions. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly. That's the point. Like everybody else, all the external people have the questions. Our people, our internal media, the people that are trying to stay on Cuban's good side, they have no questions about this. Christian Wood is good as gone if things don't turn around.
I said he gone. I said this a few months ago. Ain't no way in the world I would stay for this, man. Like you said, like I said, after the All-Star break, you cut my minutes down to like 14 a game. Like, I'm gone, bro. Let me answer these. Hold on, Larry. I'm gonna get to you in a minute. Beck said, to be frank, we played Houston 3 times. The Spurs in that 7 wins. Hardest opponent was the Knicks, with Luka who had to have the historical numbers to win. You're right, Beck. But did you also remember that we lost to Houston without Luka? You remember that? And to be frank with you, I don't even think that was a game that Christian Wood even started in. We were losing to teams like Houston and the Spurs in that before Christian Wood started. You remember that?
We just lost to Indiana.
Don't remind me.
We lost to Detroit before he was starting.
And we lost to Detroit. And that was a game that he didn't play in. So let's not act like, it was nothing they played these teams when we were losing to those teams at the beginning of the season.
Orlando, Washington.
Exactly. Washington, yeah.
New Orleans, when they had no Zion.
Oh, thank you, Ribs. Thank you. And we lost to OKC before they became what they are right now. They had the worst record in the league around that time. So you're right. Like, come on, y'all. Let's not do this, bro. Y'all wilding. Larry says that was Utah, and that win streak was more. Oh my god. You got it, Larry. You got it, man.
These aren't points that I'm making. I'm not saying Christian Wood was the main reason for the win streak. I'm just saying.
That's what I said. You got it, Larry. You got it.
Could you ever even debate Dwight Powell was the reason we won a game?
And that's what I'm asking. Like, we read the numbers off, we read the record off for Christian Wood, but we don't hear any of that. I never heard any of those numbers or any of those records tied to a Dwight Powell or a Maxey. But yet, sign these guys to extensions, man. This is why we one of the worst ran franchises in the history of sports, man. Because it's stuff like that. You run talent off, get rid of talent. Let's go ahead and keep Maxey. Let's keep Dwight. Let's keep Dodo. Let's keep those guys. And what had that got you in the last 8 years that we had these guys between now, first having Dwight Powell and now? What has that gotten you? It's gotten you a mean mug from Luka to what's the boy name? Mark Cuban on the sidelines. Anybody remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well. Larry also says his agent is struggling to keep players. Oh my god.
That's the game, man. I'll let you on some insider knowledge about me. When I was in college, I wanted to be a sports agent. I had a professor who was a sports agent. He was Tubby Smith's agent. DeMarcus Ware, was that the defensive end y'all had on this Cowboys a while back?
Yeah.
He came to our class one day. He was one of his clients, and he pretty much laid the game out for me. He was like, when you're a small time agent, you're not tied to one of these big agencies. You get your guy, you build them up, you invest in them. And once they get to the point where they're about to sign a big deal, they leave you for one of these big agencies. That's the game. No matter how much you put into these dudes, if they get when the big guys start calling, and he's like, I take 10% off the top because that's a normal fee. These big agencies come in, they don't need that 10%. They're not the ones that built you up and put in all the work and the resources, took care of your mama and your family and all that. They come in, hey, I only need 5. What's up? And that's how all these small agents lose their clients. That's just how the game goes.
Prime example of that, Bibs. Look at Rich Paul. A lot of people leaving their agents and going to Rich Paul. We hear that all the time. So yeah. But yeah, that's fine, Larry. You can give us pushback. If you're gonna keep throwing these super chats, you can push back all you want. It's just not making any sense what you're saying, but it's fine. I'll take it. It's just confusing to me, man. Hold on. So then Beck asked this. He said, so was it Luka factor or Wood factor in those 7 games? I guess it wasn't Wood, man. Since he trash, I guess. So I guess it wasn't Wood. It's all Luka. It's just funny how we had Luka before those previous 7 games and it didn't look well. But yeah, it's all Luka, man. All of a sudden he just turned it on by himself. That something he couldn't do before those previous 7 games. But yeah. Did he send another one in? Was that it? No, that was it.
Yeah, them Christian Wood 20 points, 9 boards, and 2 blocks. They didn't help at all.
Yeah, because we didn't need those numbers because that's what Matt Cleveland and Dwight Powell would do.
Dwight Powell's 5 and 5. That would have really.
Yeah, that was. I'd rather take the Dwight Powell's 5 and 5.
Take that away, and obviously the Mavs still win. Obviously.
Yeah. So but yeah. He says it doesn't mean I want Maxey or Powell. If it was up to me, would Maxey, Powell would be traded for a defensive center? I would too, Big. I would too.
But I think that's where the conversation gets convoluted. Is we're debating mid at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah, that's why I'm confused. Like I don't
We
see
are
the
right
same energy with those guys. That's the
Like,
part that always frustrates me,
if
bro.
we're
It's like I've
looking
never
at
seen.
2K ratings, Christian Wood's a 78, Dwight Powell's a 73, Maxey's a 75. Like,
Yeah,
mix and match.
It was
The
like an
minutes
80.
just need to be close.
Christian Wood's like 82.
I mean, I'm just saying, like,
nah,
on
he
a
just saying it in general.
comparison
Like,
type
Oh,
scale.
okay.
yeah, comparison. Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
it's
so
not that big of a gap between them. It's not
No,
like
there is.
I think Christian Wood should be playing 40 minutes a night. He just
There's
shouldn't
a
play a
significant
14.
gap between Christian Wood.
hey, have y'all did a podcast yet on who are like available bigs? Y'all haven't did that yet, right?
Like,
I know
right
y'all did
now,
one before
You like-
where like get those guys for the cheap.
like right now, like if the buyout market,
No, I mean as far as the off season because we gotta get a big.
not yet.
No,
not
we
yet,
haven't done it yet. No.
not yet.
Okay.
Definitely, that's the biggest need. Clearly, the amount of time we spent talking about it. And especially when Christian Wood signs that package with Charlotte. That's going to be a big need.
Are y'all hearing anything about where Nerds Noel gonna go? Do y'all want Nerds Noel?
I'm
I'm not
not
saying he the answer, but we got to get something in here, man, to help with something, man.
I'm not expecting him to come here. To be quite honest, I'm not even expecting the Mavs to be interested. If we had him, it'd be nice, but he's so small, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I can't see it making that much of a difference.
I mean, when you are allowing 80 points in the paint, I just need somebody to pretend to block a shot. I just need somebody to pretend to block a shot at the end of
Just
the day.
somebody to give some resistance, man.
I'm really upset that my boy Chris Silva didn't get any opportunities when he was here because I feel like he fits into that Maxey mold as a younger version. He runs the floor. He dunks the basket. He has gigantic hands.
High energy.
He gets put back dunks. Like if we're against the Rudy Gobert types, if we don't want a big plotting center, that's the type of player you want. Just because he's not a sexy name, it's at the end of the day, if only we care about his basketball, if Dwight Powell's 5-5 is sexy enough that we need to keep him here in perpetuity, then a Chris Silva type guy seems like the type of guy we will want around to inherit that role, to be his backup.
I really thought we were gonna get a chance to look at him.
It's annoying that we didn't. He just had say what you want about the G League. There are certain things that you can see are translatable. Mm-hmm. He had 33, 15, and like 5 blocks the other night. Some of those blocks are blocks that just aren't normal. Like he's getting 2-hand track down blocks off the glass. He's recovering on guards, driving on them on the perimeter to block it at the top of the square. Like that's translatable stuff. We've seen him block Joel Embiid in games. We've seen him catch Ja Morant in full sprint at the rim. Like we've seen that. That's already occurred. He's already shown he could do those things. And it was a wasted time. And now here's where I'm at with the buyout market. If we cut somebody now, they are not playoff eligible. So now we're doing more disrespect to a player if we cut somebody right now. So that's the only thing that worries me about it. But at the end of the day, from a basketball perspective, I would say it's clear we need some type of interior presence. And if JaVale McGee can't get 5 minutes, then that's not the answer.
5 to 10 minutes is all we need from him, man.
That's all we really need, bro. Larry says, I'm not praising Dwight Powell nor Maxey. I would criticize them all. I haven't heard it yet, but okay. He said, my argument is pure. Christian Wood has earned his spot on the bench and know his agent is known as a big agent. Plus, this is the fastest way to respond. Oh, okay, that's fine. Hey, that's fine. I'll take the responses this way. But no, yeah, you said you're not praising him, but yet I haven't heard you one time, Larry, since you came on our channel criticizing him. Matter of fact, since you came here, all I've ever heard you say was Christian Wood, Christian Wood, Christian Wood. That's all we've ever heard. So you're right. You haven't been praising him, but you haven't been criticizing him either. It's been Christian Wood, Christian Wood. Let's see. Amount says Seawood missing assignment, clear trash. TCJ 20 mil. Yep, that's how it go, Amount. Welcome to Mad Fandom, man. Welcome to Mad Fandom. He says Larry said Wood started more than 20 games in a row. Yeah, and he had a nice win percentage in that other than those 7 games in a row. So yeah, you're right. He didn't just start 7 games in a row. Let's see. Some rest of these, man. We could probably call it a night. Beck says because Powell and Maxey, we know what to expect. Yeah, we're gonna expect mid things from them.
I know
Get tired of the same thing every year.
I'm cool with what they expect from Maxey, but I'm tired of what I'm expecting from the.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like, aren't y'all tired of that? Like, I see more. Oh, we owe the White apology, or oh my God, our Lord and Savior is Maxey when he comes back than any other players on this team. Like, aren't y'all tired of that? Y'all tired of seeing this same 2 or 3 rebounds from a starting center in the White Powell and Maxey giving you cold streaks or being out for large portions of the season? Aren't y'all tired of that? Like, I know I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting tired of seeing that same thing every year, and nobody's trying to make any moves. But then y'all are crying to the front office, like, oh, don't trade these guys. These are heart and soul of the teams or whatever. It's like, come on, y'all.
Y'all wanted a superstar, but cried when Dorian Finney-Smith got traded.
Thank you. Like, that's the part I don't understand. Like, that's the part that be frustrating me, man. Let me see. Oh, and TGK said give him. He going Noel. He said not. He said not right now, but right now. I hear you, man. But let's see. Beck says I would rather have Chris Silver over Wood in defense. I don't know why we let him go. Yeah, Beck, he played 1 game.
He played 1 game
and
like real minutes in 1 game. He got.
I was gonna say that 1 game. I think he only played like 2 minutes or something. Didn't
he played like 2-3 minutes. He had a jump hook over Walker Kessler, and that was pretty much it. He was out.
I don't understand why you signed him for then, man. That makes no sense. Frank says, y'all go all in on Bam. I would. If they would want to give him up, I would. Said he the trash, and I see the Heat fans basically want a proper rebuild, and rebuild need picks. Just saying, our picks aren't that valuable.
I think they would trade the olds before I think they would reset around Bam if they reset.
Yeah. I mean, like I said before, Frank, I would love to get Bam. I think he'd be the perfect guy for our.
If I'm an organization, Bam isn't the kind of play I want to build around, but it's also not the kind of guy you want to trade either. He's like 27 years old, but Bam would be perfect on this team.
Bam would be perfect, bro. He would be perfect. He would fit that Dwight Powell role that they want so bad. Let me see. TGK says, "Are we?"
He's only 25, by the way.
Oh, 25.
Yeah. I feel so. He took 27. Yeah, he came in the Dennis Smith draft. Man, I hope not. TGK, man.
They're gonna re-sign Dwight.
They're re-signing him.
Dang it, Reese, man. Come on, bro.
And it probably won't be a minimum.
$3 million. He might get more than that.
That might be the minimum, actually. Now, if you say they probably give him 5, and we'll get a report about how they squeeze part of the mid-level, use part of the mid-level exception to give him a team-friendly deal or something like that.
They about to waste our
or a hometown bonus.
Hell no.
Nah, I wish we could, TGK. I really wish we could, bro. Real says we need to bring Miles and Maxey home. I would. So if the Mavs were smart, they try to hire Maxey's dad. I said to lure him like the Knicks did JB. Man, that'd be nice, man. I like Maxey, man. I don't know if they're gonna give him up anytime soon, but yeah, I would definitely like Maxey. Yeah, I see them as he's their future, man. Larry said, I just said I want McGee. Like, you want McGee playing significant minutes, Larry?
I don't think he wanted him to play significant minutes. Just.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, just want him in general. Okay. Yeah, we all do, man. We don't understand why he's not getting any minutes. Real says THJ makes more than. Oh man, you serious? Wow.
The Nuggets. That's a well-run organization.
Say that again, Bibs. What was that again?
The Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
That's a well-run organization. Between KCP being one of the best shooters in the game right now,
yep.
The money that we used on JaVale McGee, they used on Bruce Brown.
Yep, I said. Yeah, I heard you when you said that on your pod, man. I was like, I told King that. I said, bro, do you realize the money we spent on JaVale? They spent it on Bruce Brown. And we even ran down their roster. I said, bro, listen. The one thing with King folks was asking us, what do we think about Marquise Morris? The one thing I said I liked about him is he can dribble. He can dribble. And I said, look, man, we brought down the whole entire roster of the Nuggets, and every last one of them. Not talking about the shooting guards and small forward. No, every last one of those players that were in that rotation in the game we played against them can dribble the ball, man. And it showed in the offense. And I'm just like, bro, and like you said, when you said that on your podcast, I thought about that. I said, bro, it is a well-ran organization. You don't have no issues with them, man. And they do it the correct way. But not in Dallas, though, man. Not in Dallas. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Shadow says, why are these guys giving Powell more props than Wood or Maxey? I don't know. Dude has the most blown bunnies I've ever seen. He said, and he is straight cupcake. Oh my god. Dang. Hold on, Shadow. I gotta do this for you, man. I gotta give you this, man. Shots. All right. Good. I got you, man. I got you. Let me see. Shadows. Let me see. Yeah. All right. Oh man, Larry, man. Whew. Appreciate you, my guy. Oh wait, Can I take a screenshot of this, Larry? I gotta save this, man. This is the first time I've heard you say anything other than. Hold on, let me make sure there's no Christian Woods in there. Okay, we good. All right. Dwight Powell is trash can juice. Well, we giving him the. Oh, King not here. Dang. Okay. Dwight Powell is trash can juice for real. Only effort, nothing else. We said that. At best, he can pass and rim roll in mid-tier level. He said Maxey is a semi-above okay defensive player who people love because he's from Germany. Is that why? And wish he could be like be a little Dirk, but he probably cut off. He's not. Wait, Smito. A member? He's not a member. Okay, you saved Larry because if Smito was in here, he would have been turned up on you, man. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, and that's why I don't want to sign him back, man. It's time. He's a free agent. Let it go. Let it go. Use that money for something else, man. Don't sign the White Powell back, man. But you might be right, Reese. You might be coming back. What time is it? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and end it here, y'all. Let's see. Beck said, did y'all know Buddy Hield live? Yeah, he lives in Dallas, yeah. Or at least owns a home there. Yeah. They said that during the game that he comes here every summer and like works out and everything and brings the team down here. That's why a lot of times, I don't know if y'all see like the different like videos of like the open runs and stuff they have here. Like Miles Turner and them are here. They're here with like Luka and them sometimes when Luka's back here doing the open runs and stuff, man. They're here with them. And that's why. And it's probably the last one. Larry has ball equity in the glow yard. Man, hey. That's why I say, Larry, I definitely appreciate you, man. But wait till King find that, boy. He's like, what? Gotta add all this up, man. But yeah. That's gonna probably do it, y'all. We definitely appreciate y'all, man. It was a good one, man. I appreciate y'all hopping on. I apologize, man, with King's his connection and everything, man. I would say the normal stuff, but y'all already know. Listen, I got their information, guys. I have their podcast and I have both of their Twitter handles down below in the description box, guys. Go and follow them. Please go and listen to their podcast, man. Great podcast. Listen, guys. We will be back here on when Dallas play again? Sunday. What's the day? Saturday? Yeah, it'll be here Sunday. Right? Is this Saturday? No, it's Friday. So it's Sunday. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we'll be back here Sunday, y'all.
Sunday at 1.
Oh my god. Well,
Easter. Let me make
Easter.
That
so 12. Okay.
Wait, Phoenix, right?
Yep. Any predictions?
A lot of points.
I knew KD was going to be back before we played him. Now,
hey, did Phoenix win?
I'm not sure.
Ooh, I didn't check. I was going to do the Big Baby Davis a whole lot of jump shots. That's what.
We need the Kings to win.
They did 125 to 102.
Dang it, we was close. We were that close.
Let's see.
Yeah, crap. Okay. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, man, like I said, man, I definitely appreciate the Mavs Outsiders hopping on with us, man. I apologize, King's his reception stuff was kind of bad. Oh, dang it. Larry, I know I promised y'all I was going to get that. I promise. I'm sorry. I'm not even over the Discord. I think King is over the Discord. I'm going to have to get that from him, but he's not here. I promise y'all I'm going to try to get it for y'all on the next show. I'm going to try to get the Discord for y'all because like I said, we got so much stuff set up that I don't have a control over everything. I know King has some stuff and I have some other stuff. So I'm gonna try to get it from King and I'm gonna try to have the link down below. Cause I need to. I don't even know how Discord works. So I need to try to learn myself how that works, man, so I can hop on there too. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get that for y'all, man. I promise. But yeah, man. With all that being said, man, it's your boy Rail. Y'all already know. I got the Mavs Outsider. This is the members only. We definitely appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. We will catch y'all here on Sunday, guys. It'll be Sunday evening because I have to work on Sunday. So it'll be Sunday evening, same Mav time, same Mav channel. Go Mavs. And we out, y'all.